to the glory of your name. This we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Mobley. Now I have the honor and distinct pleasure to introduce our Provost and Chief Academic Officer and Duke Endowed Professor of Political Science at Johnson C. Smith University. Our research found that just last month, he recently spoke to the United Nations. Holding high the golden bull is one of the main mantras of it. It tends to guide our academic success stories. Please welcome our student-centered Dr. Provost Chung.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. Thank you, Dr. J, for your leadership, and thank you to the entire team, the entire department, and the entire college for what this one means for you. Because I know the long nights you guys spend, the long days you spend beyond the call of duty to make sure that JCSU produces a top-tier class of social workers, who in turn go on to touch many, many lives, not only here, but across the country and across the world. And also to our speaker tonight, Ms. Young, I would like to say welcome to JCSU, or welcome back, rather. Now to the graduating class, congratulations. Today is your day, and it gives me a unique and special pleasure and a sense of honor, I would even say, to be able to commune with you tonight. Here is why. We have a lot of people who go on to graduate successfully and go on to very successful careers. But there's something unique about what a social worker is. Because the work you do, we all recognize it, is critical to healing this world, to elevating through the recognition that the one thing which binds us is our shared humanity. And any attempt to redeem a human being or to redeem human civilization must begin there. In thinking about what this thing means tonight for me and for all of us, I'm always reminded by the wise words of the late, great Thurgood Marshall. He pointed it in these ways, that when we begin to recognize the humanity in our fellow human beings, we are not doing it for them. We are paying ourselves the highest tribute. And this is really what I call the burden, but at the same time, the unique beauty of doing the work that you guys do. And this is why I particularly look forward to seeing you over the coming days, up to the big day of May 19th. But most importantly, this is also why I look forward to staying in touch with you, so that I can have the unique pleasure to bear witness to the greatness that you, without fail, will bring to yourselves, to JCSU, to the Carolinas, and beyond, to this nation and to the world. Once again, congratulations, and I look forward to the wonderful things that you guys are bound to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Chung. Thank you for those powerful words. Professionally trained social workers hold either a baccalaureate or a graduate degree from a Council on Social Work Education accredited social work program. The Department of Social Work in the College of Business and Professional Studies at Johnson C. Smith University consists of a Bachelor of Social Work program and a Master of Social Work, which is the first graduate program founded here at the university at the School of Social Work by Associate Provost, Dr. Helen T. Caldwell. Dr. Caldwell, on behalf of the social work students in the Department of Social Work, we thank you, Associate Provost, Dr. Caldwell.
I am delighted to hear those wonderful remarks, Mr. Sebastian. And you know, you always take care of me when you see something in my parking spot. You always move it so that I don't have to get out of my car, and I appreciate you so much, as well as all of our BS and MSW students and those who are about to cross the stage. And we are so happy for you. And I am delighted to be here and to be a part of this this wonderful event this evening, because I know what you've gone through to get to this point. But for the internship experience is a culminating experience where you collectively come together with all that you've learned to demonstrate it in the agencies. So we thank all of the agency supervisors. We certainly thank parents. Don't let us forget parents who have, and significant others who have been so supportive of this experience for you. We're just excited about this time. And as Dr. J has said, this is the 5th year that this has happened, and we're happy that the students initiated this because we all want to see and know what they've done and what they do. Now, we really know it, particularly in individual classes, but to make this broadly for so many people to hear and see is magnificent in my mind and in my spirit. As a social worker at heart, I've always been a social work educator and now moved on to the administrative level. I still am connected to what you do and who you are. I want to thank the administration for their support of social work department and everything that's going on in the social work area. Our provost who so eloquently spoke, and of course our dean of the college who supports social work altogether, and then the faculty, Dr. Gray, the chair, Dr. J, who was everywhere, advising and teaching, and certainly Dr. Johnson, who is the director of the internship program, as well as our MSWs, Dr. Melvin Herring, Dr. Kia Berkins. I could just begin to name so many people, and then I'll forget someone, so let me stop. But I just want to say that I'm delighted to be a part of this, and so happy that Ms. Young is going, as a social worker, she is going to talk about the experiences that go on in this country that she faced as a professional social worker. And you know, so many times as social workers, we're out there trying to solve other folk problems. But when it hits us face to face, that is a different experience. And I'm so happy and delighted that she will be able to talk about that and then just share techniques and experiences in case you are a part of the experience. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity to say hello and welcome to everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Caldwell. Social entrepreneurship is a social action that the profession of social work uses as a working business model to propel the profession forward economically, professionally, and socially. Dr. Alfonso Obue is the Dean of College of Business and Professional Studies, where our Department of Social Work is located. Known to us as Dr. O, he has many accomplishments and has already brought new ideas to JCSU. With Dr. J, Dr. O was an international speaker during the World Social Work Day, which was hosted by the Social Work Innovative Network. Hopefully, I will have the pleasure of shaking Dr. O's hands at the honors convocation and receive an honors pin. Please welcome the Dean of College of Business and Professional Studies, Dr. O.
Wow, thank you so much, Ms. Wright. I'm incredibly privileged to be here. And of course, I cannot really overstate my incredible pride in Dr. J and the work that she continues to do with the BSW program, along with the rest of the faculty. You know, the provost has spoken, the associate provost has also spoken, and so I will not repeat too much of what they've already said. I do want to, however, offer my congratulations to all of you who are graduating, and of course, look forward to seeing you on commencement in a few weeks here. Today, we celebrate a remarkable achievement, your achievement, in my view. You know, being married to a social worker who has an MSW, I can tell you that the work that you do from firsthand knowledge is one that's going to be important and continue to be relevant as you try to bring about change in society. You've dedicated yourselves over the last 3, 4, 5 years, as the case may be, to the challenging and immensely rewarding field of social work. I mean, you've endured long hours, obviously. You know, you've tackled complex theories and dealt with all kinds of policy papers. And again, you know now, things that I've read, right? When my wife was doing her own social work program. But your accomplishment is really a testament to your passion, obviously, for serving others, which is what social workers do. You've chosen a path where you'll be a beacon of hope, I think, for those facing some of the life's most challenging issues, whether it's in terms of economic, social, or mental health issues. Those are people that you'll be trying to help overcome obstacles in life. The world you enter needs you. It needs your compassion. It needs your critical thinking and your unwavering commitment to social justice. And I want to underline social justice because that's important in today's environment. So I really am proud of you. I am delighted that you have come this far and graduated. I wish you nothing but success and look forward to staying in touch. One more plug, tomorrow we have our Dean's Distinguished Speaker Series featuring Michael Lamar. And for those students who are in the audience, we're giving away 4 gift cards of $50 each. So if you want to come and pick up a free $50 gift card, I do want you to attend. But of course, it's a program designed for the entire community, the entire campus. And once again, congratulations and continued success to all of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. O. Professional social workers. We provide and advocate for essential human services to individuals across lifespan and have been the workforce. We are that workforce to guide people to resources, counsel them on important life decisions. At this time, we ask you again, if you have not done so already, if you would just go ahead and put your name in the chat. We want to know who's present, particularly if you are a practicum field instructor. So far, we have Ms. Latasha Berkins-Allen, who is JCSU Student Support Services Department here at Johnson C. Smith University. And I see we have Dr. Mary Wilson from CR Chorus Intergenerational Center, and she's here with Constance McKinley. I'm sorry. Ms. Perkins-Allen is here for Ms. Sierra Carter, and it looks like Starhurst MSW students. So go ahead and put your name in the chat. We want to know who's here. Mr. Sebastian?
You are on mute.
As noted as her message from the Dean of Students on Johnson C. Smith University's website, Dr. Kathy Jones, Dean of Students, is committed to cultivating an environment where our possibilities are becoming a reality by assuring the care and support all students to successfully navigate the campus culture and landscape by connecting students with resources. And so the resources, so I'm sorry about that.
We're going to welcome Dr. Kathy Jones, Dean of our students.
That's okay, Sebastian. I know you. You know what I do. Most of the students on this platform I've met either in my office or at some activity here on campus. I am Kathy Jones, Dean of Students, where my primary responsibility is the management of our judicial process. So I'm very much interested in our guest tonight, and welcome to everyone here on the platform. I just want to say, I had written a few things. Sister Anjanette, is it Anjanette? Anjanette. Written a few things about you. And I said that you have been handcuffed, humiliated, and harassed, but you're still here. And you're here on this platform tonight, right here at Johnson C. Smith University. And we want to welcome you. We are so honored to have you and here to inspire us and to help our students understand this process called justice. when sometimes it's injustice. Congratulations to our student graduates. You've come a long way. I've seen you grow and I've seen you glow. And I want you to continue to hold high the gold and blue. Our motto is Sit Lux, which means let there be light. So I want you students to continue to light a legacy along the way, that someone may benefit from the knowledge that you have gained here at Johnson C. Smith University. Continue to stay strong and stay true to who you are and what you have learned along the way. And every day here at JCSU, I am blessed to be a blessing to students. And that's my mantra, to help someone along the way. It may be a cliche, but every day I have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of our students. And I appreciate you. I love you, and congratulations on your pending but upcoming graduation. God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Dean Jones. Thank you very much. Using music and social work often helps clients to express themselves, their feelings and emotions, and facilitate communication. As promised earlier, please welcome the songbird, voice of Johnson C. Smith University, Student Government Secretary 2023 to 2024, Ms. Ashton Williams, as she performs, followed by the introduction of our speaker, Ms. Kiara Gator. Ashton.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashton Williams. Thank you again for having me as one of the potential social workers here on this panel. I'm singing Encourage Yourself, and I pray that you all will be blessed within this song selection. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to speak victory during the test. And no matter how you feel, speak the word and you will be healed. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Sometimes you have to speak the word over yourself. The pressure is all around, but God is present here. All the enemy created walls, but remember, giants, they do fall. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Hey, as I minister to you, oh, I minister to myself. Life can hurt you so till you feel there's nothing left. And no matter how you feel, speak the word and you will be healed. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord.
Thank you, Ashton. That was very beautiful. I am so honored and humbled to be able to introduce our keynote speaker for tonight's event for multiple reasons. Anjanette Young is a licensed clinical social worker and graduate of the Jane Addams School of Social Work at the University of Illinois, Chicago. She obtained a master's degree in clinical social work with a special interest in mental health. Anjanette's passion for people in her professional work is rooted in her DNA. She was raised in rural Mississippi by her grandmother, who was a civil rights activist who fought for justice and equality in her community and marched with Dr. Martin Luther King. Anjanette now spends her time as an adjunct professor at Governor State University, teaching bachelor-level social work students, along with running cafes, social work consulting, or mentoring and consulting with other social workers pursuing their licensure exam. In this space, she helps social workers to understand their individual learning styles and how to clinically approach the exam for success. Anjanette has become a fierce activist and advocate in the Chicago area around social and racial injustice and police reform. Anjanette was able to work through her trauma from a wrong raid in her home in 2019 to now being a quite common name in Chicago, known for fighting back against police misconduct. Anjanette currently serves as member at large for NASW Illinois chapter, where she aspires to help move the needle forward for all impacted by systematic issues that do not foster the well-being and human dignity for all. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our 2024 tribute to the BSW and MSW graduating candidates in field practicum instructor speaker, Professor Anjanette Young.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for that amazing introduction. I am so honored and appreciative to be here this evening. I don't take it lightly when anyone sees my story or sees something in me and feel like that I have a space to share or to share my story in a way that impacts others. And so I'm excited to be here tonight. Thank you, Dr. Judith. We met, in New Orleans, and she was such an amazing person from the first introduction of me meeting her. You guys should be really honored to have her as a part of your team and, doing the work with the students there at Johnson C. Smith. I would admit to say that media and social work was something brand new for me when Dr. Judith was telling me all about this program. Although I think it's very necessary, I posted on my social media page about speaking here tonight, and I was saying firsthand, I understand the need for media as it relates to telling stories of individuals and families who experience systematic issues or injustices. And I know firsthand what it means for the media to be a resource for myself, a resource to be able to tell my story in a way that moves the needle forward in exposing corruption here in Chicago. And so I'm going to ask that the video be showed now. I always preference when the video is being shown. I don't know for how many of you who have seen the video before, or if this is your first time seeing the video, or if this is your 15th time seeing the video, that it's hard to watch. And so I always tell individuals, take care of yourself. And so since we're in a virtual space, if you need to turn your camera off, if you need to walk away for a second, that is more than appropriate. Do what is needed to take care of yourself, because this is hard to watch. And so you guys can go ahead and show the video.
Disturbing. Police officers raiding the home of a hospital employee right after she returned from work by mistake. Police and city leaders tried to keep the video private.
Well, much of it is pretty tough to watch. Dave Savini from our sister station in Chicago uncovered the story and spoke with the woman who says she feared for her life.
I had just gotten home from work, and while I was undressing,
Anjanette Young, a social worker, had just finished her shift at the hospital when 12 Chicago police officers raided her home.
and it happened so fast, I didn't have time to put on clothes.
She was completely naked, surrounded by all male officers.
And I'm just standing there. I mean, terrified, humiliated.
Young was handcuffed as the officers searched her home.
If I had made one wrong move, I felt like they would have shot me.
One police officer wraps a short coat around her shoulder, still leaving her front fully exposed. Young tells the raid team at least 43 times they are in the wrong place.
You got the wrong house! You got the wrong house!
WBBM's investigation uncovered police got it wrong because they took the word of an informant who said a felon with a handgun lived in the apartment.
Nobody lives here but me! Okay, you don't have to shout. I don't have to shout! This is ridiculous!
So where was the target? Our investigation revealed he was awaiting trial on home confinement here at a different apartment in Anjanette Young's complex. How easy would it have been to locate him? Easy, real easy, because he was wearing a police tracking device. Police did eventually walk Young to a room so she could get dressed. It took more than 20 minutes for the officers to say this.
We believe your story.
Nearly 2 years after the ordeal, Young says she still hasn't been told if any of the officers involved have been disciplined.
They need to do the work, but they need to do it right.
Dave Savini, CBS News, Chicago.
Tonight, Chicago.
So when you guys were showing that video, I turned my volume all the way down. And I did that because from the very first moment, myself ever seeing this video, well, let's go back. As we did the story and I connected with the media and we put the story together, the night before the video aired on public TV, I was sent an 8-minute video. The total news story was about 8 minutes. I was sent the 8-minute video to watch to give the final approval before it was going to air on national TV. I was only able to watch 1.5 minutes of it. And I gave them the approval, just trusting that the team that I had, had done well. And the reason I could only watch 1.5 minutes of it is because the screams in my voice were too much for me to comprehend. And so hearing my own voice, hearing the fear and the horror in my voice was too much for me to comprehend. So to this day, I don't think I've ever watched the full 8-minute video. And it's 5 years later. And even now, when I watch the video, I turn the sound down, because even though I can watch it and I know what's about to happen, it's still too hard for me to listen to my own voice in that state of mind. And why I, was excited to be in this space with you guys. Like I said, this was the first time that I heard of, media in social work. And I think it's just amazing that we have social workers who are looking at stories and putting together content and creating media productions from a social work lens. Social work has a unique lens where we're looking at the holistic picture. We're looking at the person and not the situation in social work. And so to have social workers who are creating and producing productions from a social work lens is absolutely amazing to me. And I applaud all of you guys, from the professors who's teaching it to all of the, students, bachelor level and master level students and field instructors who's doing this work. I don't know why this is the first time I've heard it, but it needs to be in every social work department, because there's absolutely a need for media in social work. And so to tell this story, the reason media was so important to my story is because after this happened, the city of Chicago did everything they could to hide what had happened to me. I hired an attorney. We got, started the legal process. They denied us access to every police body cam that was available. We did all of the appropriate steps by filing for FOIA, which is the Freedom of Information Act. I have a right to those videos. And when I connected with CBS2, which they're doing great work here in the city of Chicago, before my raid, if you want to look it up, they did a 2-year investigation docuseries of 50 other families who had had the same experience that I had. And so I reached out to them after I saw the docuseries and said, I need them to help me. And I was saying I need them to help me because my attorney was not, my attorney and I were not getting the results that we needed because the city was fighting against us. It was one of those things that happens here in the city of Chicago, but I'm sure it happens in other places where police are doing things that are harmful or that are misconduct according to, the way they are to operate themselves, and they want to hide, they want to slide it under the rug. And so my story was one of those things where they attempted to slide it under the rug. There were statements made from the police department that literally said, they did nothing wrong. It's unfortunate she was undressed when they came in her home. That's literally how they see it. They believe that they were right in the fact that they had a warrant that actually had my address on it. And they conducted that warrant the way police always conduct warrants. And it's unfortunate that at the time that they, kicked in my door, I didn't have any clothes on. But if you watch the video, there's so many things that went wrong in the video that you see on the video. But the things that people don't see is the reason, how did they even end up at my address? How did they get my address on a search warrant? And those are the things that were uncovered by the media team. And so it's unfortunate that the police did not do their job well. And they, took information from a confidential informant who was trying to make a deal for himself and pointed at my door. They drove him down my block. And he says, I know, this guy who has guns and drugs and he lives over here. And they put him in a squad. They drive him down my block and he points at my door and said, it's the red door. Now, the unfortunate thing for me is in the complex where I live, all of the doors were green but mine. My door was red. And so they said, it's the red door. To this day, I don't know why my door was red and the whole entire complex is green. I don't know. Only God knows. But the young man pointed and said, it's the red door. They looked at it. They got my address off the door, off the building, and put it on a search warrant without any evidence. And then came and raided my home. And there are so many missteps that we, of course, we found out through our media investigation. They got the warrant at 10 a.m. in the morning. They could have did so many other things if they truly felt like they were operating in the right. I lived in an apartment complex that had an on-site management company. They could have taken that warrant at 10 in the morning to the management company and said, we have a warrant for this apartment. And the management company would have had to let them in. I would have been at work. I would have never been harmed. But there are so many other things. Police have access to doing what is called utility search. They could have searched the utility of that apartment. They would have known that the person that they were looking for, didn't live there because the utilities were in my name. Or they could have searched the individual that they were looking for, and they would have known that he was on house arrest and that they could track him because he had an ankle bracelet on. And so there are so many things that went wrong in my case, and so many things that I'm thankful that I utilized an investigator through the media. So Dave Savini, who works for CBS2 Chicago, he's an investigative journalist. And so they did the investigation. And so for all of you who are in this class and you're working in media and you're social workers, and I hope you stay in the space of media and social work social work is broad, and and you may find yourself landing in other areas of social work. I would personally say it would mean the world to me to find out that some of you stay in social work and you become journalists and you become that investigator that looks at things from a social work holistic perspective in order to tell stories like mine, because it needs to happen. My story needed to be told. And it took us, my raid happened in February of 2019. The actual video that you watched did not come out until December of 2020. That's how long it took fighting a system, a corrupt system here in the city of Chicago, to even get the footage, to be able to make this story. But it was because of an investigative journalist that my story was told the way it was told. And it was because of the investigative journal that he involved me, and I was able to tell my story my way. I tell people all the time, the video speaks for itself. The facts are the facts. You see it in the video. But when I speak from a perspective of what my truth is. The facts are what you saw in the video, but what my truth is how I was harmed in, within that video. And so I mean, I don't want to spend too much time talking. I actually want to give you guys an opportunity to ask questions if anyone has questions, and then we can close out, or I can hand it back over to Dr. J and the rest of the team who is moderating the program.
Thank you so much, Professor Young, for your message. You have given us a charge to keep. We truly appreciate the work that you are doing related to police reform and social injustice. We have now come to the part of the tribute where you can all participate in leaving your legacy to the Department of Social Work. Dr. Dorothy I. Height was a pioneer of the civil rights movement and is known for her dedication to social injustice. Through her roles of administrator, educator, and social worker, the Dorothy I. Height Scholarship Fund was created to assist social work students in special events and other academic needs. Using your cell phones, you can text HEIGHT, HEIGHT 21 to 704-452-4107. Again, that's HEIGHT 21 to 704-452-4107. We thank you so much for your generous contributions.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. For more than 100 years, social workers in the United States have entered the profession with a desire to serve people in need. Every day, social workers touch millions of lives through work in hospitals, clinics, private practice, corporations, prisons, schools and universities, communities, government agencies, and the political arena. Dr. Zizette Johnson, Director of Field Education for the BSW program, Ms. Kia Perkins, the interim Director of Field Education for the MSW program, will come and introduce our social work field instructors. Dr. Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. First, before I begin to introduce our practicum instructors, I just want to tell Ms. Young, thank you for your message. Thank you for presenting to our students, our graduating students, our current students, to the JCSU family and staff, and to our practicum education instructors. This was an honor, and what you said was instrumental to me because my son wants to become a journalist, and he followed your case during that particular time. And so it's very exciting to be able to have you present to us, and him having covered your case. He has a YouTube station, and so he covered your case on his YouTube station during that time. He's 18 now. And so you had an impact on a young child during that time and helping him be able to solidify what he wants to do in his future. So I do want to say thank you for being here. Also, switching gears now, I want to thank what I call the heartbeat of practicum education. And that is our practicum education instructors. They give of their time, they give of their talents to our students for a whole year. They commit to 440 hours of providing guidance to our students. And it's probably, actually, when you think about it, it's probably even over 440 hours. And so because of their perseverance and their willingness and to pour into our students, it's just an honor to be able to just to say thank you and welcome on our behalf from the BSW program and the MSW program at Johnson C. Smith University. Now, I know Dr. J and the MCs have asked the field instructors, practicum education instructors, to drop their name in the chat. So far, I have Justin White. He's with the Nuvia. He is Karina Calame's field instructor, and they have developed just such a strong bond. And I just want to thank Mr. White for all that you've done for your intern. Miss Amina Lee, she is with Dash Life Connect, well, Dash, and she is actually supervising two of our students, Michael Mercado and Celeste McCarter. And Latasha Perkins Allen from Johnson C. Smith University just really just stepped in and helped with Sierra Carter in student support services and helped Sierra find her niche and what she wanted to do. And then she's also supervising a MSW student, Starhurst, as well. And then Dr. Mary Wilson, she's with Intergenerational Center, and she's the practicum education instructor for Constant McKinley. If I am missing anyone, you are more than welcome to come off of mute and introduce yourself and state the student that you served as for a practicum education instructor, or if there's any students that want to highlight or recognize their practicum education instructor, you are more than welcome to do so now as well.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Several years ago, the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics projected that an additional 100,000 social workers would be needed by 2018, and the country's accredited schools and programs of social work would need to recruit and graduate enough students to keep up with this volume and complexity of social needs in communities. Dr. Karima Gray, Chair and BSW Program Director, will introduce you to her faculty and the BSW social work candidate for graduation. Dr. Gray.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. It's been an amazing program so far. Thank you again to our special guest, Professor Anjanette Young. We are so grateful that you shared your truth and your story with us. I would like to take this time to also say thank you to my amazing colleagues in the BSW program, Dr. Dezette Johnson, Dr. Judith Crocker-Billingsley, Dr. Lasagna Townsend. You all are amazing. Thank you for being on this journey with us, with our students. I appreciate you so much, and I'm sure our students do too. So without further ado, let me introduce to you our BSW candidates for graduation. We have for Ms. Karina Calame, Ms. Sierra Carter, Ms. Tania Curry, Mr. Joshua Daniels, Ms. Kalia Grant, Ms. Ashanti Harris, Mr. Kamali Hay, Ms. Tobiah Henry, Mr. Kirsten Hyde, Ms. Silese McCarter, Mr. Michael Mercado, Ms. Asia Morrison, and Ms. Janiyah Webb. And I would also like to mention one of our social work and the media students, a senior in the IDS program, Mr. Chandler Cannon. Congratulations, prospective candidates for graduation. We cannot wait to see you walk across that stage and celebrate the end of this part of your journey with us. So congratulations.
Social work is a professional activity of helping individuals, groups, or communities to enhance or restore their capacity for societal functioning by creating favorable conditions. Social workers are society's safety net, and with the current economic challenges, have grown to include and protect a diverse group of people from all walks of life. Dr. Melvin Herring, the MSW Program Director, will introduce to you the MSW candidates and members of his faculty. Here's Dr. Melvin Herring.
Good evening, graduates. My apologies for not being there with you in person to celebrate this wonderful occasion. I really wanted to be there. However, I am in class tonight. I'm teaching next week. Second year students, you remember these moments, this moment last year, and for those who took my data analysis class, I can still see you shaking in fear, but we will get them prepared and ready to do the work, okay? But I wanted to at least personally be able to say to all of the 2024 graduates from this social work department, congratulations on this wonderful accomplishment. I just want you to celebrate this awesome milestone that not a lot of people have the opportunity to achieve. And so don't take this lightly. For my MSW students, think about it like this. Only about 9% of Americans get a master's degree. Only about 9% of that 9% are African American. So we would always say to you in this program, if it was easy, everybody would do it. That's the truth. That's the truth. Not a lot of people can accomplish what you have been able to accomplish. You're not done yet. You still got research symposium to finish up in a couple of other classes, but we do want to celebrate you tonight and celebrate you loudly for the work that you have accomplished and all that we know that you're going to do. When we look at our society and we look around us right now more than ever, our society and our communities are saying that we need more social workers. And so we're very proud and I feel very confident in knowing that you all will be going out and leading the charge for change. And so with that, I feel very confident and proud of the work that you all have been able to accomplish. With that said, I would like to recognize and acknowledge the 2024 MSW graduates. Look forward to seeing you walk across that stage pretty soon. Miss Sienna Alexander, Miss Samantha Baldwin, Mr. Kamik Caldwell, Miss Yamara Champion, Miss Evangeline Uri, Miss Takia Gar Carter, Miss Kishana Gary, Miss Nakisha Hammond, Miss Amelia Harris, Miss Lauren Holland, Mr. Reginald Howard, Miss Andrea Jones, Miss Jasmine Mack, Miss Constance McKinley, Miss Kimberly Middlebrooks, Miss Tori Pritchett, Miss Deja Rainey, Miss Dina Van Buren, Miss Brianna White, Miss Tanasia Williams, and Miss Tashara Williams. Again, thank you all for all that you've given to this program. We look forward to you giving back to not just the MSW program, but the social work program and social work department in general. And again, just great work, and I am so proud of you. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of this celebration. Good night.
Congratulations to all the candidates and their families from the 2024 social media class and myself.
Thank you. We are so proud of you, and we wish you well on your next journey, your next chapter of your education attainment. Thank you very much for paving the way for me and my fellow classmates, and congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Young, for your story, and I'm going to continue to keep you in my prayers as well for your healing and all your peace. This time, I would like to please welcome back our spring 2024 social work and the media host for this evening, Dr. Judith D. Crocker Billingsley, followed by the closing prayer and from the associate pastor at the historical Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Senator Reverend Warnock is pastor and where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. also served as co-pastor with his father at the time of his death. Dr. J.
Join me in applauding this evening's efforts. Can we actually give a round of applause for what you have just experienced tonight? Let's give our candidates, our guests, the administration, a round of applause. And you can actually put in the chat if you want to applauding. Professor Anjanette Young, on behalf of the Department of Social Work, on behalf of the administration at Johnson C. Smith University, on behalf of all of the social workers, I teared up from watching the video. And trust me, I've seen that video more than once. To our field practicum instructors, thank you, as Dr. Johnson just said, for everything that you've done. We could not have done this without you. So if nothing else, what we want to do is allow us to welcome the associate pastor for the congregational care at my church, Ebenezer Baptist Church, the home of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., where our pastor, Senator Raphael Warnock, is pastor, to bring the closing prayer. Reverend Olivia Maxwell, we thank you for taking time out of this schedule to actually bless the sanctity and the continuation of our students, our field instructors, practicum instructors, as well as the faculty, social workers. Reverend Olivia Maxwell.
Blessings. Thank you so much. First and foremost, I bring you greetings on behalf of our senior pastor, none other than the Honorable Reverend Raphael G. Warnock, and just want to say that we are so godly proud of each of you and all that you have accomplished thus far, for this is just the beginning. God has so much in store, and we believe that God was the ultimate social worker. God was the one that cared and looked after, provided resource, and provided guidance. All of this is all the work of social work, the work that is done to make sure that we soothe souls that are hurting, to make sure that we are using and creating opportunities for uplifting and creating opportunities for those that are down and need guidance, to provide that guidance and that direction. For this is more than just you getting a job. This is a call. This is a call to be able to work within humanity and grant humanity your presence and your process, your understanding, your knowledge, such that they might be able to be heightened in this life. The Bible even says that the poor will be with you always, and those that are, there will always be those that are troubled and challenged. But I believe that God knew before time there will be a certain few, a remnant that would be called to be able to give to those that are most in need, a call to those who are living their life to provide resources, living their life to look up and to research and to grant opportunity for access in a way that others don't necessarily necessarily have for themselves. So on behalf of Ebenezer Baptist Church and our church family, we first want to say thank you. Thank you for answering the call, and thank you for ensuring that humanity, this is the work of social impact. Social impact means bringing yourself to the table and allowing your presence to be used for the greater good. And so thank you for being and for answering the call to place yourselves on the line, your time on the line, your family oftentimes on the line. Social workers work in so many different avenues. And as a chaplain myself, as someone who works alongside social work so closely, I can say thank you, thank you. Thank you for answering the call. Never see it as just a job, but see it as a call. See it as something that you are purposed to do on this earth and to grow to higher heights. I charge you to consistently research. I charge you to consistently grow. I charge you to consistently place a different people around you and associations that will help you to move the call forward. Why? Because you are the remnant called to impact the world in such a way that they might be changed, transformed, and improved. Thank you for answering the call. Let us pray. Gracious God, we thank you for these that have come, these who are now shown themselves approved by study, those who have submitted themselves unto the work of knowing and understanding that their call independently is one of a greater call collectively to care for the community. We ask, oh Lord, that you would just bless them indeed, that in every area that they walk, whether they decide to go into medical, whether they decide to be into clinical, whether they decide to go into counseling, whether they decide to go into corporate group therapy, whether they decide to work in centers of health, whether they decide to work in schools, regardless of where they go and wherever they tread, that God, that you would allow their foot to be easy, but yet their impact to be much. We ask, oh Lord, that you would allow each of them to have the graces to continue this call throughout all eternity, giving to all that they have desired to work and to see upliftment in the kingdom, which is yours. We thank you for these that have come. We thank you for these who have studied. We thank you for the long nights. And God, we thank you for keeping them now as they begin the journey afresh, that now you will anoint them anew to do the work you've called in community. For although we know those that are poor at heart, poor in spirit, poor in mind, and poor in finances exist among us daily, let these be the ones that touch. Let these be the ones that change. Let these be the ones that transform lives this day and forevermore. And collectively we say, Amen.
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 Amen. Amen.
The God of your spirit and the God of your hope be with you now and always. Blessings and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Thank you.
Reverend Maxwell. Thank you so much. We're about to go, but we do have some special guests. I see a special guest from CBS. Dr. Terry Lynn Cannon is here. I see we have a couple of alums, Kenneth K2 Hagler, and people are continuously joining us, Dr. Johnson. So if it's okay, we will spend about no more than, we want to be gone about 7:15 to give you all the opportunity. If y'all can give us about no more than 30 seconds, Terry Lynn Cannon is, Dr. Terry Lynn Cannon is here, Anjanette Young, because she wanted to meet you. So if she's on the call right now, Dr. RC, if you could just say hello. I know she has done profound work with CBS and NBC. Dr. Terry Lynn, are you here? Are you still with us? Terry Lynn Rivers Cannon. Okay.
Okay, I'm here. I'm here. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, it has been a pleasure to receive all the insight and just to hear the impact that is going on in the field of social work. It is my honor and my privilege to be a part of this. Thank you for the invitation. I wish peace and blessings to each and every one of the graduates and continue empowering this field as professors, instructors continue, because our work is not done yet and our advocacy is certainly key. So thank you very much.
you.
Any others briefly? Any others? I see K2. I see Dr. Townsend, who is the professor for the non-traditional students. Dr. Townsend, did you want to say anything?
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Dr. Townsend.
Hey, I apologize for my tardiness, but what I did see was very phenomenal. So thank you for that. And I look forward to going back and looking at the recordings, but congratulations to everybody.
Congratulations. Anyone else? Anyone else? Any parents or relatives? K2 or any alums?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. J. I want to recognize for the Department of Social Work, Dr. J is my political social work mentor. Got to give a shout out to Dr. Gray, my chair, Dr. Johnson. She's my field director. Good to see all of you amazing leaders on here. To the class, to the graduating class, man, you have been saturated with so much opportunity. One thing that I would share with you, having been a graduate, is to take the experience that you have gained from this amazing program and come into the field, if I could use this very loosely, as a sniper and not a machine gun. I heard Oprah say one time, there are a lot of problems in the world, just pick one and solve them. In this field, there's always going to be a problem to solve, but pick the problem that drives your passion, solve it, and that's how you'll be able to change the world.
Excellent. I saw Dr. Freeman. Dr. Freeman, who's in the MSW program and one of the coordinators of this event. Dr. Freeman, did you want to say anything? Okay.
It's a technical challenge to figure out the unmute button when you're doing so many things, but it has been an excellent evening. I have really enjoyed the story. So sorry that the event occurred, but so very appreciative that you didn't just let it happen, that you became a voice for change. And to all of our MSW graduates, you know that I always tell you it's not over until it's over. So don't celebrate just yet, but I am most proud. I think Dr. Herring said it best. We're not just preparing people to go out here and do the work, but we're preparing leaders to go out here and make a change. So I echo the charge that has been sent, that you follow your passion, but that you heal the world and make it a better place. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Young, we're going to yield to you to let you have the closing remarks, and then we're going to go.
I would just say, once again, I am so thankful to be invited into this space. My closing words, I echo the young man about being a sniper and not a machine gun. The analogy that I always use is that use your individual voice to make collective change.
All right. On behalf of the Department of Social Work, we want to say collectively, congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much. But Josh, as the president of the Social Work Club, we cannot close out without you accepting the charge on behalf of this class. Josh?
Well, thank you, Dr. J. Well, I really wanted to say we came a long way, to all of us. When we first came back from COVID, doing, the blue and gold days and stuff like that. And now we're in the final stretch of our long journey of our college career. And honestly, I just wish nothing but the best for all of my classmates and even the ones after me, and also to the MSW students. And I hope God can guide you in ways that you can find happiness, not just happiness, but you can impact somebody in your careers. And I wish nothing but the best for you all.
Thank you so much. Have an awesome evening, everyone. Have a great night. Take care, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. J.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Dr.
night,
J.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
Everyone.